Pierce erwachte in einer Anstalt im Keller des Riverside-Instituts. Dort traf er auf Dr. Colden, eine Freundin von Bradley, die ihm zur Flucht verhalf. Er durchstreifte den Ort, an dem Dr. Fuller uneingeschränkt herrscht und konnte mit einem Mann namens Francis Sanders sprechen. Bevor er vor den Augen des Detektivs starb, beschuldigte er Sarah Hawkins als Grund für seine Qualen. Schließlich verließ Pierce gemeinsam mit Bradley und Colden das verfluchte Gebäude. Die drei Verbündeten beschließen, in der Villa der Hawkins Unterschlupf zu besuchen. Ja, das ist eine super Idee, statt in der Stadt zu gehen. Schön in diesen Ort, wo 3 Menschen gestorben sind. Nee, 2 Menschen, wir wissen jetzt, Charles scheint ja irgendwie beim Cthulhu-Sekt untergekommen zu sein. Aber es scheint wohl eben gerade so zu sein, dass ich entweder hier den Strom komplett hochballer, damit diese Maschine kaputt geht, den Typen die Tabletten gebe. Hätte ich vielleicht machen können, dann hätte ich vielleicht auch eine gute Tat getan. Oder das, was ich gemacht habe, zufälligerweise die 4 Gastdinger da aufgedreht und das dann dazu gebracht, dass die Leute da weggehen. Also schon interessant, dass sie mehrere Lösungsmöglichkeiten haben. Finde ich gut. Ah ja.
Who goes there?
Oi. Who goes there?
Nightmare again. I need a drink.
Auch ein Drink. Wir haben einen Skillpunkt bekommen. Den setzen wir auch mal ein. So, jetzt haben wir das auf 100%. Jetzt sind wir richtig gut. So, was nehmen wir denn als nächstes? Deckung ist die Fähigkeit, versteckte Gegenstände aufzuspinnen. Verbesserst du diese Fähigkeit, steigert deine Chance, versteckte Gegenstände für nicht entdeckte Gegenstände erscheinen nicht im Spiel. Psychologie. Ich glaube, ich würde wahrscheinlich auf Entdeckung gehen. So. Oh, die beiden sind da unten jetzt. Man ist sich aber immer noch nicht sicher. Nee. Das ist ein Traum. Das ist 100%ig ein Traum. Das war hier niemals so aufgeräumt. Never ever war das so aufgeräumt hier.
No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
Hier waren Möbel, die lagen hier überall rum, konnte die Treppe nicht gehen.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
Da muss ich Okkultismus-Profi sein. Die sollten tot sein, ja.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion, You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
Das ist ja seltsam.
You two know each other pretty well.
It's a tiny island. Everyone knows everyone. Especially since I'm a police officer and Marie's a doctor.
The chemistry is obvious.
I do seem a little bit stupid, don't I? Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
Hey, Nevermind. Nevermind. Oh, damn it. What the fuck? Hey, Misfits. How are you doing, mate? I was just reading your message in my head.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
Popping by to see how you're doing. I'm doing pretty okay. I had a rough night last night, and was pretty groggy the whole day. I mean, I was asleep at 5 o'clock in the morning, and yeah, slept until noon, I guess. And yeah, I'm streaming again. Evolutionsbremsen, guten Tag. Grüße gehen raus.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
Last night you were streaming, right? Yeah, almost 10 hours. And had too much beer and too much liquor in me. Ja, bleiben wir hier besonnen.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Okay.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Okay. Let's go. Kapitel 6. Wohnsitz der Sanders. Pierce, Cole und Bradley beschlossen, den Fall Sarah Hawkins gemeinsam zu lösen. Sie haben eine neue Spur, der sie nachgehen. Francis Sanders, ein Kunstsammler und Freund der Malerin, der direkt vor Pierce starb. Der Detektiv geht zu dessen Haus, um mit seiner Witwe über den Schlürfer zu sprechen, den der Mann vor seinem Tod erwähnte. also called Chandler. Let's go.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well. Look,
Oh, Cat. Dass die hier ist. Die ist die
know
Bossin.
each other.
Our paths crossed, briefly. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
Okay. Sie müssen sich nicht schuldig fühlen.
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes. Did you not do anything to help him?
It's terrible what happened to your husband, but I had nothing to do with it. I was injured, and I came across him in the hospital quite by chance.
Injured? Well, I'm delighted to see you in such fine fettle, Detective. Not everybody enjoyed such a prompt recovery.
I suppose Fuller does do miracles now and again.
Luck is obviously very kind to you. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then...
Ist sie schon müde?
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors?
Okay.
Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Okay.
day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
Oh. Gucken.
A house of artists. Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
Wahrscheinlich, Freunde. Okay, kann ich nicht hin.
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
Ah, hier ist es.
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel? She despises Sarah Hawkins, but it's the painting she truly hates. Why? The Shambler. I need to see it.
Oh, damn.
Did she really care for him after all?
Sehr geehrte Dame, ich bestehe im Empfang Ihres Schreibens, indem Sie die Leichnam des verstorbenen Mannes verlangen. Leider müssen wir Ihnen mitteilen, dass ich Ihnen seinen Leichnam nicht aushändigen kann. Bei seiner Einweisung unterzeichnen Sie eine Einverständniserklärung, die mir erlaubt, die Körper nach eigenem Ermessen zu beseitigen. Ich möchte Ihnen mein tiefstes Beileid aussprechen. Na, hier scheint auch irgendwie was gelootet worden zu sein. Können wir wohl nicht rein? Da ebenfalls nicht. Hier irgendwas? Nee.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Tonaufzeichnung.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Ich dachte, das wäre, hätte ich da gerade gehört. Die Melodie. Offenbar war es nicht richtig. Navigieren.
Irene, I made a mistake.
Nochmal zuhören.
I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Anymore. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
Ja, jetzt auch als Kronkratz. Nee. Nee, Mist. Weiß ich nicht. No man, why does this guy look like he's missing his head a bit? I think he took a little too much off the top. Yeah, he crushed his eyes to not look at this cursed picture, cursed painting. Painting is the better word. This is kind of a horror game about the cult of Cthulhu. Oh, there's Cat.
I could use one of those.
Ah, Schlaftabletten.
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Pretty sure horror and myself don't mesh well. Me neither, but the story is pretty intense. It's not that here that there are so many spooky situations, but it's intense. Lieber Francis, ich bitte dich, die Hoffnung auszugeben, jemals dieses verfluchte Gemälde zu besitzen. Wenn du unserer Freundschaft auch den kleinsten Funken Bedeutung zuschreibst, dann erspare mir die Last der Schuld. Ich kann nicht die Schöpfung deines Untergangs sein. Ich bitte dich, mein lieber Freund, vergiss den Schlürfer. Okay.
An old diary.
Diese Ausgabe geht es um Reverend Wigwards Gemeinde. Seine Frau beschreibt ihm Sorgen über die seltsamen Träume, die die Gemeinde des Reverends seit ihrer Ankunft heimsucht. Einige Mitglieder der Gemeinde sind auch ihr Ehemann begannen von ihrer Vision eines von Gott gesandten Bodens zu sprechen. Sie hat Angst, dass sie das gleiche Schicksal leidet wie der verlorene Stamm. Okay. Schlüssel zur Sanders Galerie. Ah. Ups. Buch lesen, natürlich. Oha. Eine Art Lexikon monströse und unbekannte Kreaturen. Langsam fange ich noch an zu glauben, dass sie wirklich existieren. Okay, dies wird dein Schicksal ändern.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
You can bet your ass I'm gonna find a locker and hide it. There was some actually.
I have a well-off client in Boston who heard about the death of Francis Sanders and wanted me to size up his estate before making an offer to his widow.
Nice story. Bad lie. Learn how to dupe, Detective. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me.
Fitzroy.
I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say? Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.